planted.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to SpikeTalk episode 34. Oh man, it's been a little bit, but we got a lot to talk about, actually, including Masters Bangkok. That final was crazy, bro. T1 did it, bro. That was insane, man. I gotta give it to him. I did not expect the outcome to be like that. But I remember people were asking me, they were like, who do you think's gonna come out on top? And I genuinely said, like, it's top 4, anything could fucking happen. Like, that's just how this shit goes in tournament, man. Team just decides to wake up and go crazy. I mean, you're beating Vitality, which, by the way, rematches I feel like are very hard. I'm sure you have like a lot to say about that. Like, not to like make an excuse for Vitality. I still think they should have had a better showing in the playoffs, and like also Faded thinks the same, of course. But I do think that rematches are tough.
They are. It's very hard to beat the same team twice in the tournament. Yeah.
It kind of happened with fucking EDG as well. Like T1 3-1s them as well, which is like, I don't know. It was just insane how like every single player decided to just step up. And I feel like Sylvan, man, had such good moments. And I don't think Autumn talked about the reason why they were doing the swaps, but Sylvan had... He did? He didn't?
He didn't.
He didn't. I want to know so bad, bro. I want to know so bad.
He could have just been sick. I mean, based on everything that happened, he probably could have just been sick. We just don't know.
But Sylvan is like, I think he's ridiculous, man. Like, genuinely. Like, the amount of clutch plays he had, like important timings, important kills. I feel like he was like one of the main parts.
If you remember, it's why I thought it was such a weird move in the first place.
Yeah,
but, you know, it is what it is.
What'd you think about their play, though? Like, honestly. Like, I know.
I mean, listen, look, I'm an adult. I don't really care about like being right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. Everybody knows what happened last year. So trust. What I'll say though is I find it funny that everyone is now like, oh, T1 was the best team. I think people really underestimate like how tournaments work. They don't actually understand it because they've never competed. But sometimes the worst team can get on a run or find their form. And they were the worst team because of whatever objective reason. Right? They were the worst team. Coming into this event, they were the worst team. And even they knew they were the worst team coming into this event. Right? That's why MIBR had to keep talking about in interviews that they need to find their confidence. They need to just be confident. And if you look at how they played, MIBR was dry walking out of smokes. Right? Like, all their retakes, he was just dry coming out, swinging and killing people. So, to me, what you really saw was T1 put this roster together because they have, like, so much experience and, you know, skill. And what you saw was on stage, on land, that happened.
Yeah,
you saw their experience and their skill over everyone else. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is why they won. They weren't the best tactical team. They weren't even the best roster put together. They just had everything they needed, which was LAN composure, LAN experience, and requisite skill. And it hit all at the same time. Similar to what EDG did at Champs. Nobody thought EDG was the best team there. And they won it. And when you're playing in tournaments like this, that happens. Also, the benefit of only having an 8-team tournament. So the hyperbole around them being the best team is insane work. Because even if I won Masters Bangkok, you know how I am. I would have been like, we're not the best team, bro. So many things had to go into it. But yes, they were the better team at the end of that tournament. And form-wise, I think it's going to carry them and help them for a while because I think they found
that's a big confidence booster for sure.
Yeah, bro. They found it. They found what they are and how they are.
Izu, but I mean, everyone looks so good at the right moments. I mean, and I will say, T1's losses were heavily based around MIBR losing those 50-50s. Like, for example, like in the upper bracket against EDG, MIBR like finally got shut down, and he went 39-52, 6 first kills, 6 first deaths, which is like still, it's even is good.
It's still good.
But it's kind of crazy though, right? Because like when he goes even, they lose.
Yeah.
But like that's how insane he is.
I mean, it wasn't
like,
a tactical game, bro. Like they were taking so many ones on attack and defense. It was insane work. But it was working out. I mean,
also just talk about being clutch too, though, bro. Like winning all those OTs is
that's
like,
the big thing.
Crazy, bro. Like
their clutches were actually, I think, what propelled them. But I will also say that it was by far, without any hesitation in me, G2 literally screwed the pooch on that one. Yeah, that should have been a 3-0. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
and the narrative is completely different.
Being up on split, I think it was 8-4.
Yeah, it should have been a 3-0.
You lose 6 in a row. Yeah.
It was a 100% complete choke job. And it's fine. It is what it is. I mean, you have to go through that. I say this as someone, RCS Season 1, I will never forget it. Arguably the biggest choke of my career. Like, I still am bothered by it, and it's 10 years ago. So,
yeah, I feel so bad
it is
for
what
the
it is.
G2 boys. I feel so bad.
It is what it is, but they're going to have to learn from this. Yeah. That's it.
The thing is like it happened to them in NA, right? Where like they kept getting the second place curse, but now it's like second place curse international. It's just
but they will grow out of it and grow from it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
the biggest reason I know it was a choke is, did you notice how many times MIBR literally walked down either mid or an opposite lane and killed 3 in the back?
Yeah, bro.
That means you're
plays, though, dude.
No, right. This isn't about MIBR. It's G2 supposed to be fundamentally one of the best teams in the world. Tactically, we have always said that they were like one of the best teams in the world. There's no way you get flanked 4 different maps in the back by MIBR without somebody at least spot checking. It's almost like they forgot.
They were so focused on what's in front of them.
Right. But it's the moment. They were trying to do their best job to guarantee that whatever site they hit on their attack, and MIBR didn't give a fuck. And it sounds like a small thing, but from someone that has been there, that is just mental stack. That's a fighting game term. And that's just basically when you have so much to think about that you start skipping steps. And like in the FGC, they use that term for like if a guy, if one of the best players in the world in a match misses every anti-air, you know this guy can hit every anti-air on command whenever he wants. Right? Like, it's not like he's a bum. It's not like G2 doesn't have fundamentals or strong fundamentals.
Yeah.
It's just that in the finals, in that moment, they forgot, we need a flank watch. And MIBR said, hello, and just kept busting them. And then it kept slowing them down even more. Now they become scared of a backstab. Now he knows, we're chilling. I just killed 4. I don't need to push out. Let's just gamble stack. Unlucky. That's just how that to me is just how that series went. And I think the combination, in my opinion, of Stacks and MIBR, with all that experience and all that grit and grind and buzz, I think ultimately the experience gap was so wide that it just broke open the series, because in my mind, I was pretty certain it would be a 3-0. And then on split, I was pretty certain it was going to be a 3-0. And then I'm just watching the collapse, and I'm just like, okay, interesting. So it's tough.
Hey, big ups, though. Big ups to T1 for winning that. That was very impressive, that run that they had, man. Crazy work. Sylvan is somebody that I'm definitely going to be watching more going into the stage 1 season, because I think that he has so much potential, man. Like, fuck, it was crazy.
I mean, I think
his mechanical skill. Izu too. Izu had the best Yoru play.
Izu is a special one on that team, because if he plays well, I think they are the favorites to win. Because now they have too much at too many positions.
Is fucking ridiculous, man.
Like, he has no fear, bro. Trust me.
Oh my god, he doesn't.
I have played with Yoru players that are too afraid to do shit.
Yeah,
straight up. So that guy is not afraid to do it. He's not afraid to TP. He's not afraid to fake. He's not afraid to do anything.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. There's something that I'm afraid of, and I'm afraid of what PRX are doing right now, because they put in PatMen, who I'm just going to put it out there. I have no idea who this player is, where he even came from, why PRX picked him up. And this is like, again, I'm not trying to like diss the kid. He could be insane in the future, but I think it's crazy what's going on. Is this the downfall of PRX? Are they just done, dude? Like,
I think for as long as they have, something and Forsaken, I think they can't be. Oh, sorry, and Divine. My bad, David. They can't be done. Like I think they'll always be competitive.
So is he joining as a sub or like, or is he replacing somebody? Because I feel like if he's replacing somebody, like that's just not it, bro.
My expectation would be that he probably is on the full-time roster by season 2. Who he's replacing, I'm not sure.
Do you think he's good enough? You think he'll be good enough?
Without meaning to sound disrespectful, I will just say that I think that players like Kakarot and Javi are potentially better than him. So there must be something that I don't know and can't see. Because I was surprised when I heard about PRX wanting, if we're going to keep a buck, PRX wasn't going after PatMen. They were going after someone else. But the way the contracts work in this game makes it impossible. And I think that, they ended up picking PatMen.
Who'd they want, bro? I would say what they wanted. Primi?
Oh, no. Yeah. No, that was last year. I'm talking like they wanted another player on another team this year.
Oh, okay.
Like on another team and just couldn't get the deal done. So, yeah, this is, I think, a placeholder for that.
Contracts are rough, bro.
Yeah, so this is probably a placeholder for that. Unless he like balls out of control. I would argue though, again, I felt like Meunier was better than him off the. So it's just, I don't know though, and it's not for me to know. That's their organization.
Meunier actually looks good this year. Like it looks like he got like some experience under his belt, and like he's very comfortable now.
Right. So I don't know. I am probably just as confused as most people. But I also acknowledge that they made that move for a reason, and those aren't dumb people over there.
Yeah.
So
what
I imagine there's stuff that we just can't see.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question though. Like, because you're a coach, right? Let's say I'm not trying to disrespect Alex or anything, but what would you do to make PRX stay at the top or like be back at the top to what they used to be? Because it just feels like it's just been.
I respect the question, but they don't pay me to solve that problem. I have my own opinions on what I would do. Nope, you're not getting that one out of me. No thanks.
I gotta see them. It's been like a steady
I gotta see them later in the year. Nope. And I can't beat them anyway right now. So I'm hoping this new team has a better chance.
Though, man, it looks like such a shame, man. It's.
I will admit this though. I think the window is past. I think the window of their superiority over the region passed a long time ago.
What do you think was like? What do you think is due to that? Just like people getting better, or like the inflexibility of like?
No. People are getting better, and like they didn't learn what they needed to learn when they needed to learn it, and now everyone is basically like caught up. Yeah, I mean you have the skill, but so it's kind of like a basketball thing where like the older you get, like young players that are like flashy, like if you think of like dunkers like Vince Carter.
Yeah.
He ended up being a three-point shooter by the end of his career. Like a Jason Kidd, right? Up and down the floor, blah, 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 blah. He ended up being a three-point. It's like, you have to evolve these things. So PRX is trying to evolve now when everyone has already built their teams on some pillars that PRX is trying to evolve to now. Because eventually when your skills decline, right, your game IQ has to, and your experience has to be the difference.
It has to take over, yeah.
Right. But the thing that they do have obviously is experience. So what you saw from T1, PRX can go on a T1-esque run and win. What we're discussing is just the likelihood of an event happening in the same way is just lower than I think it was 2-3 years ago because Pacific was much weaker 2-3 years ago. So this is what we're basically really talking about is can they? Sure, they can. They have the skill to do it. It is much more likely today than I think it was in the past for them because in the past, I felt like they had such a large gap between them and everybody else. I don't think that exists anymore.
Do you think that we'd be in a different situation here had they beaten EG? Do you think that they would have been like actual destroyers, or do you think this was inevitable? It would have happened no matter what?
It was inevitable if they stayed the course. I mean, even that EG roster wouldn't have been good the next year anyway. Like it's the same shit that happened to T1. You just got to find a run. Man, when you make these tournaments, bro, like I've often said this, teams rewrite history. Look at the narrative already changed around the T1 win and how they're rewriting history. How like we didn't see what we saw in kickoff. All of a sudden now that's the best team in the world, right? It's just kind of funny. You just need to get into a tournament and just have a good run, and you can change everything. Like I'll give you an example. I mean, I don't know.
It really is like that though. You just need that like spark.
So I'll give you a small example, and I know this isn't an FGC show, but it's so funny to me how like things. There's a player in Street Fighter that has made 1.5 million from Street Fighter. Can you believe that?
Holy shit!
You know what he's won? 2 of the biggest tournaments. He just won this Capcom Cup, and he won a Saudi event for 500K, and he won Capcom Cup, which is for $1 million. His total net worth is like 1.5 million or his total earnings.
Damn, bro. Can we get some of that, bro? God damn.
Right. So it's not like he's a pillar of consistency. That's my point. It's fucking really difficult to win in these large events when you have some of the best people in the world. Sometimes you need to be blessed by the bracket. Sometimes you need some things to go your way. Sometimes you need people to throw and help you out, just so you can get past the map because, you need another map, So these things just happen. And teams that are built for tournaments, like I would argue, T1, right? Because even when they were first announced, that's the one thing that I remember me and you were talking about on the show is the amount of experience they have.
Yeah.
That matters a lot at these events. It often matters more than like pure tactical prowess or pure skill. A la G2.
Mm-hmm.
G2 was by and large the best team at this tournament. They will not be remembered as the best team in this tournament. Everybody's rewriting it as T1.
Yeah.
Because of experience. Just like you said, they keep being NA's number 2. They broke the hurdle. Now they have to do the international one. Will that happen this year? Next year? I don't know. That's not for me to decide. That's for them to decide.
was dropping nukes though, bro. He had like 100 kills in that final.
Right.
Okay, so
I don't know.
I kind of want to pivot to that too, though, because Jogamo, I feel like he is inting a lot for G2, but also like his first kills, first deaths are very, very like it just doesn't look nice. Do you think that's something that G2 should try to fix? Like, should we try to enable? Should we try to enable him more, or is it just like?
No, it's chemistry. They need to figure out the 1-2 punch and who's going to get the trades and how and what position are they going to need and what the execute's going to look like. I went the opposite way. I basically used Peter as gravity and just played off the map with that.
Yeah.
They did some things that look similar where, like, it wasn't a real hit. It was just Jogemo playing hero ball.
Yeah.
Which is a viable strategy, too.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't work, obviously you make the guy look like an idiot. You look like an idiot. That's obviously happened to me. But T1 was the opposite. T1 was 5-0 ball on attack. Most of their attacks, right? So I think ultimately they just need to decide basically how they want to clean that up or if it's working enough and where are the other pain points that are hurting them. That's something that they're going to have to do internally.
Yeah. I also feel like maybe the chamber pick was kind of getting less value against T1 just because I feel like they do have like crazy ass shooters on their team, bro. I feel like Leaf he was struggling, bro. He was struggling he was just getting overwhelmed, bro. It looked like, especially on Pearl, just getting ran down. It felt like as soon as they found out where he was at, they just had like protocols in place to punish like his TP escapes, which I thought was like very cool of T1, like prep work wise. I thought that was dope. But I feel like if G2 just ran something more consistent and didn't try to just like, I don't know, kind of like Big Bro, I feel like they would have just had a better showing or maybe even closed out some of those maps. It wouldn't have gone OT. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I saw a problem on Haven, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did the Talon special. They're up 4-1, and then I just saw these rounds just completely just fall apart. And I'm just thinking, okay, cool. I suspected there was a macro issue and there's something going on, whether it's nerves or just like IGL diff or mid-round diff or something. I was suspecting I was seeing stuff when I'm like, man, they have a lot of advantage and it's just not going their way. Okay, cool. But the map that really showed me like, wait, both these teams are like macro is not a part of both these teams' game plan. was Abyss, right?
Just a brawl.
So no. It was even worse than that. So basically,
Jet Reyna, bro.
so they pick a comp, right? And they try to like change the world with this comp, which you should have heard the interviews afterwards. It was hilarious how, I mean, again, rewriting history, right? So they're like, okay, let's run this comp. Now, when you look at this comp, what does this comp scream to you? T1's comp.
Just fight, bro. Fight, five-man, executes.
Is this attack-sided or defense-sided comp?
Attack, bro. Attack, for sure.
Right. So, if you go, if you're on, when they're on defense, you should assume what? You're going to win in what type of game? Like brawly, macro, like late game? Like where do you think the strength is?
You have to disrupt. If you're on T1, for G2 on defense?
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're G2, no. I'm saying when T1 is on defense, if you're G2, what do you think your win condition is for your attack?
Waiting for aggressive pushes, bro. Like just defaulting. Okay. Yeah.
And then where do you think your success is going to come from? Early round, mid round, late round?
Late round for sure, bro.
Okay. Let me tell you something. G2 was literally running it down on their attack against this comp. If you go back and look at some of the mid rounds on their attack, I was seriously like, what the fuck are they doing? And then whenever he slowed down, whenever Valen slowed down, he cooked them. And then he'd go back to trying being aggressive, then he'd lose. Then he was like, oh, okay. Bro, by the time he figured it out, it was like round 7 or 8 of their fucking attack half. That tells me like, whoa. We don't even understand what the fuck is going on until that late. Hello? Because, so Cruz was on the analyst desk, and I felt really proud, by the way, because I'm watch partying this, right?
Yeah.
And everything I had said about the map, apparently the analyst there gave Cruz a lot of credit. Like, bro, he called. He's like, oh, they have an attack-sided comp. Look for like an early, walk down middle on their defense. Look at them to just 5-0 run it down on attack. All G2 needs to do is like pop. And Cruz absolutely hit everything on the head, right?
Yeah.
And I watch party this, so people can fucking go back if you want to look at this shit. And just go back and just check what I said there. You'll see exactly what the fuck I'm saying now. So this isn't like hindsight Andy, like some of these other jerk-offs that pretend that like they know what the fuck is going on. Bro, but I'm sitting there like, bro, what the fuck is this? If I see that comp, I don't even need to do I don't even need to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I already know the strength and weaknesses on the comp just based on the fucking thing. So they go up 8-4. So T1, I was literally like, yo, they need 8-4 and even to have a chance. And then they need to win the other pistol to like make sure that they can probably close this out. But if they don't get that pistol, this shit's going to be hard as fuck. Yeah. Bro, my face when fucking G2 start running it down 5-0 on their attack, I was like, what? Holy, thankfully though, they figured it out. They persevered. They came through it. But the moment that map 3 happened, I immediately was like,
oh.
Okay, what I saw on Haven was not just random. There's a problem.
Something's going on
today. Yeah. And it could just be, bro, it could be you wake up and you're just not informed. You're not thinking clearly. Like maybe you forgot the game plan. Maybe the nerves make you forget. I don't know what the fuck happened. But after Abyss, I literally was like, bro, I think T1, and again, I watch partied it. Bro, I think T1 can win this series. Like, I think T1 might win the series. And then on Split, I'm like, oh, never mind. My bad. I'm trolling. And then I watched the collapse on the second half, and I'm just like, bro, what the fuck, bro? I was actually so surprised by how the turn of events went. Because when I came into this, I literally thought they would 3-0 T1.
Yeah.
And then when I watched, once I noticed that there was some macro problems, my immediate thought was, Stax is gonna fucking put this down, like, and it just became a thing where I started to then over rely on the experience part, and then I'm like, wait, I don't really think G2 can like win if they're not on, at their best, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I still believe G2 was the best team at that tournament, but history will be rewritten as T1 is, and is being written now. And I think that's cool. I think if you are a competitor and you win a tournament like this, and you went into this believing you were the worst team, and you come out of it and you think you're the best team, if you want to think you're the best team continuously, that's great. I will just say that if you actually watch this series, there was one thing and one thing only that was the difference, and it came down to like experience. And inside of experience, it's really poise, right?
Yeah.
It's who handled the moments better and who was up for the challenge. That was, I mean, in spades, bro. That was T1. And that is why I think no matter what happens the rest of the year, even if T1 have a bad start to the season, which I don't think they will because they have the softer bracket, T1 is always, this roster of T1 is always going to be a problem in tournaments because they always have that where, again, MIBR is on their defense, fast flooding, dry running out through smokes, killing
His timings are so good, bro. He's so good at it. He chooses the right opportunities,
and he's not scared. He's not scared of the moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? That's why it works, bro. It really reminds me of like some of the intuition times I used to make because I never second guessed it. I just did it, bro, and it looks so good. Look, we'll see though. The thing is that it is a confidence thing. So if he can maintain his confidence within that type of structure, I think it'll keep on working. But as soon as there starts to become some doubt, that's when
it's not even a doubt. As soon as a team that is tactically better, which trust me, I would argue half the teams at this tournament were over T1. Just look at the tape. And that team also has poise. They're cooked, right? Because this can't just be confidence is going to lift you a trophy. That's just not how this fucking thing works.
Yeah.
Like, it can do it for champs. EDG can do it for T1 in Bangkok. Consistency in this game is way beyond confidence.
Hard, bro. It's so hard to be
But now that they got the confidence down, now they need to master the other thing.
Yeah.
And then they need to master another thing. And hopefully you master enough things. By the time the end of the year comes, you're playing the best Valorant of anyone in the world.
And
that is how they're going to win a title.
They have a great opportunity to do that too, which is sick. Like I think if they can like get better in terms of macro, like you have every piece, bro.
Yeah, if they can grow on this for sure.
It's crazy.
Absolutely, they have the best chance.
Let me ask you a question, bro, because we're seeing a lot of like unique comps now and a lot of experimenting on Abyss. Like it's kind of like evolved from just like that default comp style. What do you think that has to do with? Like I know, like you guys are one of the ones that kind of like started that innovation on that map.
I think in general, what I'm going back to rewriting history. No one is going to remember that week to week we had different comps, opponent to opponent. And that I have always felt back in 2021, even with 100 Thieves, that is basically the way you should be playing this game. No one's going to give a fuck because we didn't win last year. T1 now has it on the record that they're willing to just all of a sudden, have a random comp like the Abyss one. And even though they lost, they ultimately won the series, and they can rewrite themselves as the victor here because they even did it in an interview where like, man, I hope we inspire people to know that you can run a double duelist comp like this and like still win. And I'm just sitting there like, double duelist comps have been around since what, 2020? So whatever the team is, Heretics last year could have been the team that had like a little bit of a marker on that too, as you know, right? If they won champs. I think the game is evolving to the point where people realize you can do these things. I don't know necessarily whether or not you can win a world championship this way. I think obviously Heretics was the closest.
Yeah.
The only reason I think that is because we had some really bad whiffs, even in kickoff, talented with these experimental comp stuff. And then obviously T1 didn't win, Heretics didn't win. So it comes down to basically like, are you going to find a team that can change the math? Like, are you a 50-50 team or are you like 60-40, 70-30? If you can get closer to 70-30, I think this is like championship level material. But if you're like 50-50 or 60-40, it's still going to be very fucking hard because is a team that has, it goes back to like the NRG thing or like G2 in this instance, where teams perfect their style so much that whatever new chaos you create, they may have answers for by the pure, so that is like always the argument with like meta off meta. I don't know, but if a team like T1 can push this more,
and be consistent,
I think they will be the ones that
they'll have an edge.
Show the way to everyone. Like, oh, you should be playing like this. They have to be more consistent, but they have the experience, the poise, the like. They have all the pure skill. Like I did this coaching thing with Riot, where I don't know if you saw the content last year where they had like a bunch of coaches talking like a huddle, like at a table.
I didn't get to watch it, but I know you told me some funny stories about it.
So I did it this time again, and they brought up IGLing, and I pretty much said that I think in Pacific, I think Cruz is probably number one now, especially when you think about our matchup versus T1. I was pretty close, or I'm pretty sure that gap closed. But what they didn't really mention was like overall, who's the best IGL? Because the truth is, Stacks also has the mechanics of like most
he's
star
crazy.
Players. Anyway,
he's crazy. He's
the most complete player. So they have like the complete player. They got Meteor. They got Buzz. We've been such
a big fan of Stacks as well, bro. Even when he got traded, all his bullshit, 100%,
bro.
We were just like, how the fuck did I say this guy go, bro?
What did I say then, and what did I say now?
Same shit, bro. Same shit.
Stacks was the problem. Yeah, right. He leaves, takes their best player, builds a super team, wins, does what Termy couldn't. Unlucky, bro.
My God,
it's this insane work that people still don't value what they have in front of them, and people don't realize what's special when it is. And everybody has this like ego problem where they think like they have to be the guy or they have to be the answer instead of just acknowledging that we're probably better together. And I'm very happy you brought that up because I'm glad Stacks fucking actually got one, even though he called me a racist on broadcast and me and him have hella smoke. It is what it is. Again, my opinion, I am an adult. I don't care about the other stuff. When you ask me a question about Valorant, I'm only going to give you Valorant.
Yep.
So I am very happy that he won it for him because I think it's just good. I mean, he is now, he was to me before because I gave him the title, but he is now officially the most decorated IGL
in Pacific.
But now it's in Valorant. Think about it. Look at the titles FNS has. Look at the title.
Damn.
Like, none of them won a world championship anyway. The only one I will accept the slander from is Sadhak.
Sadhak, yeah.
Facts. And if Sadhak wants to say
he's still doing a good job.
I'm going to respect it. I'm not going to hate on that, sure. But Stacks is now one of, if not the most decorated IGL in all of Valorant.
Like him and Munchkin now, huh? I feel like Munchkin's very,
but
solid.
IGLing, yes, but IGLing, I still would prefer Stacks.
Right,
in my opinion,
just because of everything else that comes along with Stacks, his clutch factor, it's crazy, man.
This is no disrespect.
Basically, solo saving his team to making it to the event anyway, right? Like in that Pacific game to qualify to go to Thailand, he gets like the 1v3, and that's what it comes down to, bro. I mean, that's crazy work, though,
bro.
Think about that crazy work, bro. Like you were one round away from not even making the event. And now you won the whole thing. It's kind of like EG's story in a way. It kind of reminds me of EG. You know what I mean? Like when they were just bombing out all of a sudden out of nowhere. Like who was it? MIBR with the coach makes it so they qualify to make it to Tokyo, bro. And then they fucking win. Or I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're saying. Sometimes this shit happens, bro. Bro, we had them.
Life is crazy.
We had them. They had to go through a barn burner.
They did it
just to make it where they got, and they did it, and it made them stronger. And now you see
So good shit. Good shit. T1 again. I know we circled back to that, but we just had to get it all out. Something that's pretty sad for me is Berlin retiring, bro. Like that sucks so bad, man. And now Shrimp is there to replace him. I don't really know much about Shrimp. Be honest.
I wonder what's going to happen with FPX now. I know Autumn is IGLing, and
dude, I like Berlin like as a human. Like I liked him as a player as well. It is kind of sad to see him retire so early. I think he's got like some problems though, right, with his like hand or something like that. Like
I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot of these issues. A lot of players have had these issues over the years. I don't want to name them because I know orgs don't do homework, so they'll probably use this and not. But yeah, like there's a lot of players with those issues. A lot of players, especially in Valorant, still don't fucking hit the gym. They don't take care of their body seriously. They don't take care of their diet. Like they don't realize that these things can down. I mean, you kick the can down
it
the
can
road,
mess you up.
and all of a sudden, that's right. So they need to take that shit seriously, and they don't. I'm not saying he didn't. Who knows? It could be a degenerative thing.
Hopefully, he's not out for that long. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
it sucks for them now because their year is potentially cooked.
Right?
So-
and he's such an important factor on that roster too. It's like that's tough.
Yeah, it's fucking tough.
That's
for sure.
very tough.
For sure.
Nova goes full Chinese now. What are you thinking about them? Have you had a chance to scrim their new team yet?
No. I mean, I only scrimmed them when they were trialing, so I don't know.
By the way, I just want to say I think they have the sickest logo, like in VCT right now, bro. I love their logo. I think it's fire, bro. Like, look at it, bro. It's sick. It's actually sick. Are you looking at it?
It's cool. Yeah.
Bro,
cool.
it's fucking dope with the purple and everything. I mean, it kind of does like a praying mantis, but like still, bro, like that shit's
the
that looks
purple
dangerous,
people
bro.
eaters. That's what we call them.
Yeah, it looks dangerous, bro.
Yeah, but it is cool. It is cool. I think G2s to me is still the best. The fucking
G2?
samurai mask.
Yeah, G2's still
dope, bro.
sick.
I've always liked it. I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
Oh, that's facts. Other than that, Rossy to Lev after the tank being.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised. I mean, maybe they just need. Yeah, I don't know because all I heard was glazing out of them from about in the tank, and all of a sudden he's gone. So I don't know.
I think
it is what it is.
I mean, at least Rossy will be on a role that's good for him. I'm not the biggest fan of Rossy being on the info initiators per se. Like, I really like him on flashes and like breach.
Yeah.
Maybe Tejo will be also good for him.
I mean, his Viper was solid in the past.
Yeah, Viper as well, but like you also have Calm, so it's like
Yeah. But like,
I just hope he figures it out, and like this is the team that he stays on. He's clearly talented enough to be on a VCT team. He just needs to keep the mental in check, bro. Like we've heard stories behind the scenes. Like I said, me personally, I've never had to deal with that. Maybe this is a roster where like he will be more chill and not want to be a hothead. I guess I could just say that as much. So I'm hoping it works out for him because, bro, like your chances are running out, man. That's like you've been on. I don't even know how he was on T1, but you've been on 2 VCT teams now already.
Said it. Yeah.
This is it. This is like your last chance, bro. Like just lock in, brother. Like just be a good teammate, and then your future is secured. It's literally it, bro. And I don't know if he listens to this. That's the only advice you ever need, bro. You already got everything else.
Yeah.
You already got everything else, bro. You already got everything else, bro. Just be the team. Just be the teammate everyone needs you to be. That's it, brother.
That's is sage advice right there for sure.
That's it, bro. Like just do your job, bro. Do your job. At the minimum, just do your job.
I used to tell a lot of people this. Just be the person that you needed to be in their situation. So if you think of a teammate, like if you're a player, like Cruz, I tell this all the time too also. Like he knows what it's like to be Premi's agent playing.
Yeah.
Be the person for him that you would have needed when you were at his position.
Yeah.
Just do that, and then you should be fine. Always. Like,
In other news as well, MIBR is benching Noswer. I mean, I'm not too surprised by this. I mean, I know, the whole duo
he struggled.
Of him and Ospas, but yeah,
tough, brother.
He was definitely like one of the weaker players. Do you think this is too early, or do you think this is justified? I mean, I think all things considered, I think it was rumored that Verno was going to be the replacement at first, but now it's flipped, and now apparently everyone's going around. I don't know if you saw Saucy on his Twitter posting contract sign.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like. By the way, how fucking sick would it be if Saucy joined this roster, though, bro? Now you're talking about like
it would be sick in the sense that it would be awesome for Valorant, but. Are you going to retire? There is nothing. I have a pet peeve. Either you do it or you fucking don't, bro.
Retiring and coming back.
This halfway in, halfway out shit, bro.
But hear me out. What if
not about Saucy?
Yeah,
it's just about life.
Just in general.
Yes, I fucking hate that shit.
Let me change your mind real quick. What if he did it on purpose so he could potentially have an opportunity to join another team? I mean,
5-head move. However, he took a big gamble by not playing a year. Yeah. But not playing the game for that long. I mean,
he was playing.
You're right.
He was playing.
Could have been 5-head, sure.
Well, we also
I
don't
think
even know if he's joining the team.
No,
by the way.
I think
This
it was
is all
more
rumors.
Aspas. Aspas needs someone that he can trust because he's doing too much. He's carrying the load. Sasi, I need fucking help.
Dude,
Necesito ayuda, Sasi. No, I'm kidding.
how
But like,
cool would it be though if this actually comes through? I feel like, especially for the younger kids, bro, like that team's actually gonna be, bro. They're gonna be like 2 times better in macro. You already know Saucy can shoot. I mean,
I agree with
it's
that.
a fucking upgrade for sure.
Hold on. I am not saying it is not an upgrade, and I am not saying Aspas is stupid for wanting this to be done. I'm saying, yeah, that's great. I was only saying I have a fucking problem with people soft retiring.
Yeah.
Either you are or you're not. What the fuck? But aside from that, no, if I'm in my BR, this is like a blessing.
Right.
Because and I'm telling you, I don't have to be in the room. I know this is what happened. Aspas was like, brother, I need you. I want a title with you. I trust you. I need a leader. I'm already doing too fucking much. Let me just kill everybody. You know what the fuck to do. Now you got me. You didn't have me before on Sentinels. Over. He was like, damn, actually, you're kind of right. I might be able to fucking win another one. That's literally what he's thinking. And that's if that happens, that is exactly how the conversation went down. And I haven't talked to either of them. I know nothing, but I guarantee I've been in these rooms with people like this. I know exactly what the conversation is when this shit happens. So this is a smart move by Aspas. He probably played with Verno and was like, yeah, Verno's good, but like, I mean, it doesn't change anything because I need tactical help.
That extra voice.
And that's why, and he realized probably what he was missing the most. And he's like, okay, Nazar brought this, but he couldn't shoot. Now I got a guy that can shoot, but doesn't bring this. How about I get both? That's how the thread went. I guarantee it.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you think, because Artzine was the one that was IGLing, do you think if Saucy actually joins that he will be the one taking over the IGL?
No, he'll be mid-rounding. He'll be mid-rounding.
Just mid-rounds then.
Which is probably what Nazar was doing anyway.
Yeah.
Because Nazar was playing the Sky role, which is the best.
Hopefully.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean.
Wait, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Assuming that things went the traditional way, this is what would have happened.
Yeah.
So,
but like, okay, so let's say that happens. Saucy joins MIBR. Where are you rating them in terms of NA now? Because they're already top 4, I believe.
Yeah, but they were luckily top 4. I think though they are probably 6 through 4 though.
Even with
Saucy.
Yeah, but like a consistent, but a consistent 6
through 4 for sure.
Yeah.
They're definitely in the middle of the league.
Yeah. We've already talked about NRG like getting Brock and everything and etc. Correct?
Yeah, I am anxiously anticipating what that's going to look like. But I think,
what do you think? Yeah, like,
firepower wise, they're going to struggle.
Firepower wise, that's
listen. I love Brock. I've liked Brock for so long, but what makes that to me, what made that team really good was Ethan FNS macro plus 3 individual, just straight up demons.
Yeah.
Now we're finding out the macro from Ethan and FNS isn't where you would expect it to be. And now they just lost the ability to basically steal rounds. If you think about it, it was like T1. Individually, Izu, Meteor, they had these guys, then they had like the stacks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's the same. But the difference was, in my opinion, NRG's macro is far superior, right? But NRG's macro wasn't far superior lately. And they blamed it on no comms. Okay, now they get all the comms. But how are you just going to stop people from 5-0ing you? What, you're just going to mysteriously your retakes at Post-Bangkok are going to be the best in the world, which they weren't before? So I have question marks, but I think certainly I have faith.
Me too.
I think NRG is a top 4 team. It's just before I thought they were top 1, 2. Now I'm like, they're like somewhere in the top 4, but I don't know. No.
Maybe top 6? You still think top 4?
Yeah, I think this roster, especially after season 1, I think they'll be somewhere in the top 4.
Okay.
It's just I was much higher on the potential of the old roster. Now I'm more like, okay, their ceiling and their floor raised, their ceiling lowered. Where does that put you in North America?
Yeah.
Right? And I think the only way that changes is Sam. If Sam reaches like 2022 level, where he's almost hard carrying, then he made up the difference. And I think they're, but if that's not the case and they're just what they are, man, they're gonna need like it's gonna be grueling for them because they're gonna have hard series after hard series after hard series.
Mhm.
But they're capable. It's just a matter of getting it done.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we saw the new character be released. I'm sure people are screaming it a lot in APAC. I feel like that would be the one region that really tries to make it work the most. I've been talking to a lot of coaches in NA. I'm not going to leak who, but they've been saying that they haven't really been playing against Waylays at all, and a lot of people are saying it's kind of mid-lay. Some people are calling it. What are your thoughts on the character? Obviously, you have Primi, who has been playing the fucking character for, I don't know. I mean, he looked like he's been playing it forever. It looks so natural to him, like almost instinctual.
Yeah, I know.
Like
he balled out of control.
Dude, in that show match, he was doing some. I mean, he was going off, bro. This is kind of his character too. And wait, but before I talk about that, I'm curious if you think this is Asboss's type of character as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if you were Asboss coach, you would be like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna put you on this on some maps."
Yeah, because if you have Asboss, Waylay, I don't disagree with the mid. I think she's a little better than mid. I think they're trolling. I think the problem with NA is that NA kind of is balanced. They like a mixture of fast, slow. They like, mid round, late round, early round equally. Like, there's a lot of variance, right? Waylay is best played a certain way, right? And I think this is probably the issue.
Yeah.
I will say, though, if by mid they mean like B tier, right? I kind of agree because I told you I think she's upper B, lower A. But to me, you know who's mid? Phoenix. She's better than Phoenix. Phoenix is not Buns. He is not a bad character. 6 orbs, the wall's so much better. He's fucking good.
It's kind of similar. You have to play around it, right?
Right. With her, you have a little more flexibility, but like if Phoenix is mid, she's better than that. Stop. Full stop. Just like stop. So Raze is like low tier A. Like I feel like Waylay is like where Raze is.
A little bit out of meta, a little bit.
Yeah. So I think is she the best character in the game? No, that is still Tejo.
Yeah. And the best duelist right now, I think everybody would agree, it's still like Yoru.
You could throw in ISO. You could throw in a couple others.
I feel like ISO is like no one talks about ISO.
Brother, ISO is so OP. I wanted to run it all last year and couldn't. I still can't. We'll see what happens.
Bro, there's no
way.
ISO is so underrated, bro. Like,
unbelievable.
Especially the way that like Meteor plays it. Like, dude, they're running it on Lotus, bro. And it fucking looks good, man. It looks good. You just fight.
We were the first team to use Yoru. Man. Bro, in kickoff, we were the first team to use Yoru last year. We were also the first team to use ISO last year. You're preaching to the fucking choir.
Dude.
I'm trying so hard to get these two.
When you put them together,
it is OP as shit, bro.
Oh my!
Some teams can run it though because they have they have the personnel. Some teams can't. I unfortunately just can't. It is what it is. But the point I'm making is that I don't think she's like. I think mid lay is kind of like sure. I guess
it's a little bit better than mid.
She's a little better than mid, but yeah.
I'm excited to watch APAC for that reason.
I want to see how many she's setting a bad precedent for the game, though. And I've been saying this to as many people that can listen. I even said this on my watch party when we saw her the last day. Because when I saw Primi play, so there was a play. Tens goes into a smoke, right? Primi is in the smoke. You know Primi can fast track and just shit on people. Primi goes to kill him.
Insta react like headshot. Yeah.
Primi goes to kill him and he can't. Tens disappears, goes backwards. The moment I saw that, I realized the power creep in this game is too bad. Like we've gone to a point where like this is like Valorant isn't a tactical shooter anymore. It's an arcade shooter now.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like it's getting a little crazy.
If you have Tejo breaching Waylay, how the fuck do you play on a bomb site?
Yeah.
This problem is getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and there's nothing we can do about it. This is just the way it is. But I feel like we need to acknowledge that the power creep reached a point where compare Reyna to look. Reyna to me is legitimately bot tier, right?
Yeah.
You know who's mid right now? Like a Jet. Because I don't give a fuck what people say. Waylay's better than Jet. Sure, Jet smokes, allow her to stay alive, but stop. Stop the cat, especially if you know the tech where you can stun in between dashes.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, we found.
I've been watching.
We were keeping it on the low, and then all of a sudden, everyone figured it out. We were
it's
like,
all over
fuck.
Twitter. It's all over Twitter now. Yeah,
that tech is better than anything Jet can do.
It's basically rollouts. Like it's basically like almost like a pseudo neon Jet, like a mixture of both, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say what it actually is though. It's Tracer, but it's all right.
Right. But
it's all right. It's all right.
But
2 dashes, 2 Frost, 2 dashes.
Brother, it is crazy
2
work,
the same
bro.
exact dashes that Tracer.
Bro, you can 2 dash, check someone, TP out. My left right's clear.
Bro, no, I'm kidding.
Brother, it is
pretty funny,
insane work, bro. So I just think that we've gotten to a point where,
dude, all we need now is
these
dualies,
new characters
bro.
are just.
We need a new pistol. We need dualies, bro, and we just we need them to be automatic. And then
brother. No, you know what we really need? The fucking electric. The gun in CS that one hits you if you're close. It's a taser.
Yeah,
the taser.
The taser, bro.
That's what we need. We need it for 100 credits, bro. We already got a shorty.
Let me ask you a question, bro. When do you think Pharah is going to be introduced into Valor, bro? You think there's going to be a character that can hover and shoot rockets too?
That is crazy work, bro.
Bro, I mean, well, I guess Jet was kind of like that already, right? With the knives. I guess that was basically the Pharah because you can like float with the double updrafts back in the day.
Yeah, I saw Elevated speak about power creep, and it's funny because literally that day on my watch party,
you were thinking
that's the one thing I was talking about, bro. I was even talking about the power creep, and I even brought up a story which I'm gonna bring up again for people in the back because Riot criticized Hiko for saying this 3-4 years ago. He said, "Man, I forget the agent release still, but he said with this agent coming out, it tells me that they're gonna add shields, they're gonna add so many things that is just gonna like blow up the power creep to the point where like every new agent is gonna be so much stronger than the previous agents." And a person at Riot,
Astra, it was probably Astra meta when she was very impressive, right?
A person at Riot basically called Hiko names because he said this is like, oh man, don't listen to this fucking guy, whatever, and he's only been proven right with time. And I think that is an argument that players need to start making with Riot.
Yeah. But to be fair, in Riot's defense, it's like, what more can you create in terms of characters? I feel like it's tough because you want to keep the game fresh and exciting and have good things for like, you know, your public fan base to be playing. But how do you make it in a way where it's balanced? I guess at least Waylay isn't like a must pick like Tejo was. I feel like Tejo is definitely the closest thing to that Astra meta.
And he barely got nerfed. He made Killjoy slightly better. It's Killjoy's still like 4th on the list in terms of like Sentinels, how good they are.
Yeah.
Like Deadlock and Vice are so much better than Killjoy. It is not even funny.
I actually like the way
still busted.
I think what they need to do, like what Riot should do, is the way that they released like Deadlock. I feel like, you know how, and then they like incrementally like buffed her and like now she's like at a decent spot. I feel like that's how it should be for a lot of their releases. Especially
the problem
like
is they went through this in League.
Was like right off the gates,
bro. This is how they sell. This is the problem with free-to-play games. The problem with free-to-play games is they need Waylay to sell. They need people to spend money or in-game credits. Like they need to basically make you spend the 10,000 kingdom, or this is how they monetize.
You have to.
That's the revenue cycle.
Yeah, you have to do it. You have
so these characters have to be good on release for people to want to buy it.
By the way, I will say that little squishy ball that they released, I mean, like big fucking W, but I'm sure as a fucking coach now, seeing your players fuck around with that thing, that would piss me off, bro. That would piss me off, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Get your gun out. Get your fucking gun out, bro.
Right. Yeah. Right before this, it was the cell phones. They were always like, you know, check their text messages in the middle of the game. Like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? Anyways, but it's I'm a little bit scared about what all this means for the game in the future, but it is what it is, man. Like Ascent, making that one change on Ascent doesn't fucking change Ascent. Ascent is still like it's still not great. Icebox basically got no changes, like pretty much no changes. What are we doing, bro? Like these map releases are just so weird to me.
I haven't seen the ice
Split
box
leaves
stuff.
come back. Sent leaves comes right back. Hello.
Yeah, the Ascent one is interesting because you could still do the B main spam just from that different off angle that like Daze used to do. Like I think he kind of innovated that one. Back in the day. But it's kind of interesting now though because you could put mollies on that wall, like KJ mollies on that wall that hits like the entire orb now, and enemy killjoy it all if they want to use it. So I think it is a little interesting.
And they try to take that out. Like remember before on Ascent, the fireplace where you could like throw it in, or like the sewers. Yeah, so it's just like, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel like, I don't know. How do you like change it to where it's not so attack sided though? If you do like make B main 2 different chokes or something, like I feel like it's hard, man.
Or maybe I didn't realize, like, bro. I didn't realize the spam was the worst part of the map.
It was pretty annoying, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty annoying, but like
I think it's the chokes. Like I know they opened them up a bit, but like I think it's still like too.
But it has been there for so long. Like, I guess the argument I'm trying to make is, it's more jarring to take it off at this point than it is to keep it on.
I understand what you're trying to say.
That's not a map problem.
It's like an aspect of the map now. It's like built into it. I kind of understand what you're saying.
And now, bro, do you know how many maps are attack sided now?
Yeah, it does feel like a lot of them are. And you know what's so funny? This is why on old phase we would always start on attack, because not only you get to set the pace in matches and people get nervous and etc. But it did feel like it was like that. Like we would always start attack, bro. Even on split, bro. The only times we won split was when we chose attack side, bro. There was a stat that we had, and I remember Fly was the one that was like, "Listen, we just got to start attack," and it was so funny because like everyone wants to play defense split first,
right?
As soon as we listened to Fly, bro, and started playing attack first, we started winning split, and it was like, wait a second, bro. Yeah. Like I feel like even split now is like kind of attack sided, bro.
Yeah, it's the way the game, the pacing, the characters, all that stuff. It's just fucked, man. It's fucked. So what your argument is, like, it was nice having a defense-sided map, like a clear defense-sided map, like, because Ascent, it was nice being able to play defense.
Yeah, Ascent to me kind of was like related to like Nuke and CS. I feel like Nuke and CS is like very, very CT-sided, right? Like,
yeah, it's just nice to play defense. It's not nice to, like, you cannot play defense on most maps, bro. You have to gamble. I mean, this game last year, remember I told you, it was retakes of post plants.
Yeah. It still pretty much
brother,
is, though.
Well, bro, they did this to the dial.
Yeah.
It's all retakes of post plants now.
Yeah. So funny, bro. JDM was talking about how like the game would transition to that type of play style as well. Yeah. And he would always like ingrain us to just nonstop practice retakes, post plants, everything.
Yeah.
So funny.
He was right.
So let's talk about Envy then, bro. For those that don't know, Rankers, which we've hyped up a lot. We like the way that they play. Got picked up by Envy. They're finally signed. Inspire's back on an org for the 4th time, but I mean he's looked so good. They recently just lost to M80 though.
That was a close series.
It was very close. It was very close. But congratulations to all those guys from Rankers. It's cool seeing Exter even signed now too.
Yes, that's his first, right?
Damn. Yeah. I mean, he was just, I'll never forget, he was a content creator, bro. Like, just making TikToks and, like, putting everybody on blast. Even he put me on blast in one of my videos, bro. I'm not going to lie. I should talk this guy so hard in ranked at some point of my career, bro. I had an ego. That. I'll tell you something real fast, bro. As soon as I played against this guy for a week straight, I wanted him on my team. Not on my, like, official team, but in my ranked games, I was like, nah, I hope I get X-Star. I'm going to win. Like, it changed very quickly, bro. It's so funny how things work, because like me being a good player, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's Yoru, like he's just brain dead, you know, he's doing dumb shit, it's only working because he's a one trick. But like the type of player I'm like, everyone was saying this about me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the thing is like he's a good player though, so I know he's gonna be good, and to see him have success in like an actual competitive setting is fucking sick, bro. It's actually a movie.
Yeah, I've been big on him. You know that. I think Red is the original Yoru. I'm not going to forget that. Just the same as like Flow Ascending. Everyone thinks it was Grim. It was not Grim. It was Flow Ascending on Sage. Grim just took it to a next level. Same as Exter. Exter took it to a place where or where Red could not because he wasn't good enough.
And he has a chance now to make.
He's a specialist. Yeah,
he has a chance.
No, he's great. I think so. I think Kane Zero is my favorite player on that team, and then I think it's Exter. That's no disrespect, but like Exter being the Yoru specialist is just insane work. Like I've even reached out to him about this, about just like Yoru. So I'm happy for all of them to get their chance. I believe all of them, but Baby Bay, this is their first time. So crazy for me to see PatMen on this. You know, everybody.
He's the IGL too, bro.
PatMen swinging, so it's just like mad funny how life comes at you fast. You mentioned it, right? Like he put you in a video because you were talking shit to him. Yeah, I think if we're gonna talk about this series, though,
what did you think about that game?
They got fucking destroyed the first half, and then they came back and made a run in the second. And but I was actually really surprised. All these games were so fucking close. I think NV choked on Pearl. I think they threw Pearl.
Yeah,
I don't know what
big four again, and they won.
Let me tell you
on defense
what the big problem is, and this is free advice for PatMen. On Pearl, they won macro almost every round, and you can tell they won macro because if you look at the scores, like they always had some sort. I mean, I don't want to say some sort of like advantage. Like I'm pretty sure they had most of. I should probably check, but I think they had advantage a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was once the bomb went down, that's where you saw like the issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were rounds that I thought they could have won easily, and they just didn't. And it didn't happen that often. I think they only had 5 bomb plants that game, but I'm pretty sure most of the bomb plants went in favor of M80. I'm pretty sure either the defuses or the attacks, and I think that's what they need to work on. Post plants on both sides.
Yeah,
retakes and post plants because fuck, that killed them so bad. They looked like they were just the worst team in that area, but they were the better team in most other areas.
Yep.
But the truth is, that's what you get paid. You get paid when the bomb's down.
Yep.
That's really as a pro player because it's so important. I think me and Aaron were talking about this yesterday, actually, totally unrelated to this game. But me and Boy were talking about like just how important it is right now to get the bomb down more than any other time in Valorant history.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is probably the biggest difference I saw was how much better M80 was when the bomb was down. I think that's the difference in the series. And it seems like it's something small, but it's actually like fucking massive. The way that gap was. And it still was 12-14. So I think Envy is really good. And I think they're better than M80. They just aren't as, I think, clean in probably the most important aspect of the game than M80. And that
in this match.
That carried M80 in this match.
Yeah.
So like that Pearl was crazy. It's not like it is a throw, but it's not a throw. It's like, oh man, we had that one. We kind of let that slip. Not like, brother, I am going to fucking hate myself for losing this game. Like it's not that bad. But man, they had it.
Fine. They'll be fine.
They had it. Yeah. I don't know what that means for the playoffs, though. Like,
so they're in lower.
Was that uppers? Now. Oh, okay. So this. Yeah. Yeah. They have a lower run, but that was round 1.
Yeah, that was round 1. Yeah, it's gonna be a.
They have to pull a T1, gauntlet. Yo.
It'll be
18 fucking. Yeah, they have to pull a T1 now.
How do you feel about that comp that they ran on Pearl, the Jet Yoru? I feel like there's something that's better that could be replaced for the Jet. I don't think it's necessary
Waylay.
to run both.
Waylay, actually.
Oh, that would have been. Oh, yeah. Or
Waylay.
No, I'm wondering, and
Waylay's good.
I'm just I'm just theory crafting right now. Would that ISO composition be good on Pearl as well? Do you think? Like
I wanted to run Yoru ISO on every map.
Right.
The thing is, to me,
it's viable, right? You could play it on every map.
I think it's viable on every map. The problem
that's what I'm
is
thinking too.
The skill cap isn't the issue. It's the macro.
Yeah.
It's. Are you good enough? Like my old roster could have, but the problem was Band couldn't play Yoru full time. Like
didn't have a Senti if he wasn't on it. I know.
And yes, you could say we had Jit, but then the problem became then I don't have a smokes player.
Yes.
Right? And then yes, I could put Cruz on, but it just made it easier to play a different way. But the problem is you need a team that can win the macro game with that comp and also be able to 5-0 and also be able to like play defense. The comp is viable. I just think you need the right team, but it is viable on almost every map.
Mhm.
So it is definitely viable on every map.
I think it's so good, especially on those long range maps where like people like to hold op lines.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you have so much to deal with that operator. You have a shield. You have 2 shields actually from the ISO itself, like a physical shield, and then also the one that goes around him. Then you got the Yoru clones, the Yoru flashes, the TPs, the punish, you know, the dash away. That comp is so well rounded. It's just so funny. Like, it's just so funny how the game has like changed to that point, and it's kind of all because of Fnatic, who like started running it on that Haven map. Like that is the comp that I feel like, it just doesn't make sense to me how it works. But then like after watching it, I'm like, oh, I get it. It's just fucking strong. They got so many different.
And you also have to have the guys. Look, I mean, no disrespect when I say this, but brother, FPX used a variation of this against us in Busan.
Yeah.
Primi killed their ISO every time.
Yeah. See, you need like a Kane Zero, a Primi,
right?
or
like
we Alpha Year, or like a MIBR.
No disrespect to Ban, but when Ban was playing ISO, he was like 50-50 on his ults.
Yeah, that's not good.
You need guys that can actually close like 80% or more, and then you're talking about that comp being viable on every map.
Yes. Which is so
you can't
weird
do
because
that.
I feel like Primi would be that guy, you know?
Primi is that guy.
But then you need the Yoru. And it's like, okay, who's going to play?
And where am I going to find a Yoru player on this team right now? I have to develop one, and this is the problem. Like, it's going to take time, and, you know, it's going to take effort. Can we do it? I'm sure we can. Yeah. But time. Right now, is it easier to go into stage 1 knowing, like, or simplifying everything for everybody? Or is it, yo, let's do it the old Talon way? It's just like, you know, they don't speak my language. Like, I can't. It's not as easy, right? Like, even if I wanted Exeter to be in a server with them, some of them can't speak English. Yeah,
that's tough.
So it like that shit doesn't matter. It has to come from me. So it's just.
How has it been, bro, with an all-tie roster now? Like, how are you guys feeling in scrims? But surely you could say scrims going well.
I'm confident because of them.
Nice.
My weariness is now stage. How will they play on stage,
dude? What if they're just completely unlocked? What if it's like?
Then I think we're the best team in Pacific, and it's not even close.
Can you imagine?
We're about to fuck everybody up.
Everything just goes crazy because everyone can like communicate fluently with one another, and it's like everything is just like.
I'd have no problem saying that if nerves aren't an issue on stage. Oh, y'all fucked. Oh my God, are y'all fucked,
dude? I'm very excited to see. I'm just excited for all stage 1. One last thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap this episode up, because we are going to be shooting more and doing predictions on the stage 1 matches, is you spoke a lot to me about like how good Vitality was in scrims in terms of their macro and then their firepower as well.
Yeah.
It did feel like when we were watch partying their games that they lost that macro aspect. Do you think that's just like an experience thing, as in like, obviously everyone on that team is experienced, but I meant like as a team? Do you think it's like they just haven't played enough together yet?
I think Safe probably isn't used to calling still yet on stage because LAN's different. Yeah. I also think the amount of information he got was probably much less than he normally gets, which could also be an audio thing, right? Like players may not be able to hear as well the certain things they can hear, and then they weren't relaying the information, and then they missed stuff.
And they were kind of relying on their mechanics to kind of bail them out, which is like not what you want to do against APAC teams specifically.
Right, exactamundo. Yeah. And my biggest issue, honestly, was some players, I think, literally on film, looked so lost. Like, I have no problem saying this, and I know I'm going to get shit for it, but I don't give a fuck. I said this about Les. Go look at that split game against T1, and I am cooking Les on his attack. Because that boy's known for being the Viper on split. And I don't know what the fuck happened to that guy, but that guy was absolutely throwing some fucking rounds. Right? So when you see that, it's just, yeah. When you see that, it's just unlucky, bro. Yeah. Like
the Yoru race comp. Damn,
they did great. I mean, listen, for the first time that they had a roster at a tournament, they did great.
It's a good showing. Top 4.
Or sorry, at an international tournament. Obviously, they won the league. But.
Yeah. No, top 4 is good. I think it was interesting their Haven comp that they ran, the Jet Yoru, like switching it up like that, putting Safe on the Jet. I think that was a little interesting to me in terms of like composition choice. Because I just feel like
I think
in
with
every
that team,
aspect, the ISO Yoru is way better.
Yeah, if they're prepared, they can play any comp. I think I was just surprised by the little mistakes that they were making.
Yeah.
And it just happened round over.
Kind of like trying to like they just tried to fight too much instead of just
they were brute forcing a lot. They were brute forcing a lot.
And that was even in the first series. Remember the first series we watched of them when they won it? I feel like even then, that's when you were specifically pointing out like, yo, like, why aren't they just playing like the macro game? Why are they trying to fight fire with fire against T1? Like, this is the way that T1 can beat them.
I don't know. It is something that I think they will reflect on and look back on.
For sure.
Because
hopefully.
I think they have to. Yeah, I think the roster's too good. Yeah, I was just a surprise. And I was literally losing my shit in that watch party because I was just like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Because you saw how good they were, bro. You felt it. And you guys were putting foot and ass against everybody else that you were scrimming.
Yeah, and I told you, I was like, bro, that team, I'm like, they're going to the finals.
Like
it's just a matter of like, are they going to
the best team? They're better than G2. Like obviously hindsight now with the way G2 performed.
Bodying.
Felt like they were
so better, I just think when they got on stage and when they played T1, they lost their minds. It became a battle that you don't want to play against APAC teams. Yeah. And I think they need to realize that, like, yes, that roster is good. There is still something. I go through this with my team, both rosters, the last one and this one, all the time. I've actually had this conversation with a few of them now, where it's like, yo, I know you think you're better, but like these guys are pros too. So this shit might work in a scrim, brother, but wait until you do this shit against Meteor. That's literally my conversation. Wait till you do this shit against Meteor. That motherfucker's going to put you down for the same thing. Mm-hmm. So start doing it the right way. I don't give a fuck if you can do it the wrong way against bums. Like, and that is that I think is the poison pill with APAC. A lot of regions think that they look at the film and go, oh, this team's easy. We can just shit on this team. They're better. And yeah, macro-wise, APAC struggles. But then you start slipping in your macro, and now you make it an even game, and now you start swinging and banging. Good fucking luck, bro.
Yeah.
Good fucking luck. You felt it here, too. Gold players are like ascendant players.
They actually are, bro.
It's kind of freaky, people do not understand this,
It's kind of freaky how good players' aim is.
NRG
APAC,
lost on land to a team that isn't even a real team. And y'all think it's because NRG sucks?
No.
NRG came back and was like, whoa, okay.
We understand.
Chill.
We understand it now. We understand it now.
If there is one thing that APAC is okay with, it is making the game ugly and muddy. If you take it there with them, oh boy,
they'll thrive in the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't sleep. People are disrespecting PRX. Make that shit an ugly game versus PRX. Watch what happens. I got my money on PRX almost every time.
Yeah. You got to play clean Valorant. Actually, the last
if you
thing,
can.
Yeah,
you can.
The last thing I wanted to talk about actually was all the drama going around with Zellsis. I don't know. Did he actually get suspended? I'm not sure if that was actually
I don't know. Real. I would be so sad. Here's what I will say though.
Dude.
And Zellsis doesn't need me to defend him. But there are players currently in VCT that have these warnings against them. I obviously had one back in the day too, right? So Riot is going to be harsher on us than they ever will be anyone else. So it is likely that some punishment will happen.
Yeah.
On a personal level, though, I feel like context matters. I am not sure what happened with language. Like, I say the R word all the time here, and then I always go, yeah, ridiculous. Because I know sort of like people will like, But it is very clear that Zellsis isn't saying this to a person with a disability. It is very clear the context in which he's using this term. It's not the same as a racial one, right? It's not. And I think I'm just surprised by just the pitchfork army and how fast everything is, because it's almost like we don't listen to context.
He just has a really big scope on him, but also, I mean, let's just keep it real. Why the hell is the editor putting that in there? I mean, let's just keep it real, bro. It's like that should never be even be released in the first place.
That is a mess up of epic proportions.
This is like if I'm Zellsis right now, I'm like, bro, like you couldn't have just edited that out. Like, come on, bro, or like bleeped it out, or like
it's
anything, because it's like, listen, like I'm very PR trained, so I've been taught not to say anything like this. It's just the world that we live in now. Like, it doesn't even matter what the context is, honestly, Frost. It doesn't even matter anymore. You just don't do it, bro. Like, we're getting paid to not do shit like that. Zellsis knows better than that in the first place. But also, bro, like, the editor should just take it out. That should never go through, bro, ever.
Yeah.
That should
on
never
some
ever
level,
go through, bro.
Right. But on
Like,
some level, I
brother,
agree with you. But
come on.
Here's my disagreement. We're not robots. We're still people. Humans are human. So when a human messes up, right, either in a fit of rage or in a state where their mind isn't correct or whatever, context matters.
Yeah, but his apology,
this notion that like
his apology tweet was kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, the copy pasta. Yeah, I mean, listen, I respect it, bro.
That was crazy,
I respect it,
bro. That was crazy, bro.
Yo, I apologize for all this, but
the double down.
Fuck you and the
the double down was kind of crazy, though. I feel like
that's funny.
I feel like he needed to just leave it, after that. Like, just leave it alone, bro. Like, just apologize, leave it alone. The double down. Now whatever happens,
I don't mind. I don't mind. Then he gets hacked, and all of a sudden he's a crypto guy, right? That was him, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's just somebody pissed, like trying to take it out on him. Now it's
crazy.
I mean, on a personal level, I almost feel like
I feel so
the
bad
world
for
we
him
live in
right
isn't
now, bro.
real, because there are so many problems with, I think, what's happening. And I will say, though, that I think social media is at the height of it all, because I remember this was like 2013, 2012. No, this was like 2012, 2013. I remember at a TI, I was telling people, like, how much I dislike social media and how I try to keep our players away from it.
Yeah, you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah, but the problem is our whole industry became, how big is your social media presence? That's how you got money, investment, everything, right? And it hurt my career in that way. But the truth is, I know I was right, because when you just think about the rhetoric or the lack of real discourse and conversation about anything, and how everything is about anger or fear, or it just goes to show you that, like, we are all not in a good place. And yeah, I mean, another thing I have a problem with, which is kind of not having to do with this, but it kind of does, the YouTube drama stuff around Valorant too.
Talk about WestJet.
I'm not just listen. I'm not even hating. I just started getting into that stuff. It's actually. I'm just saying, like,
so
listen.
Funny. All of his titles are like, dude, they're so rage baity. It's great, bro.
I'm not saying that
WestJet is so funny. Dude.
Doesn't have a particular humor that I can vibe with. I'm not saying this. What I am saying, though, is we spend so much of our time, like, on those things, and not things like the actual game and the people. Right.
Yeah.
Like, we even have talent, which I'm not going to get into with you, but it is what it is, where, like, they don't even understand the game and why players are good enough. And we're very critical and harsh with certain players. And I'm obviously one person that is critical and harsh when it comes to the macro and the tactics, but it's never about, like, whether or not this guy should be on the team or he's holding people back, like. So I feel like in general, I'm surprised by just how much that drama shit in Valorant sells. Like, actually.
I don't think it's just Valorant, though. I think it's just, like, kind of like what you said. It's just like everything now. Like, it's in everything. Because even in sports, it's pretty bad too, bro.
I'd argue worse in sports.
Right? It's probably worse in sports. Yeah.
But on a personal level, since I'm only in Valorant, it's just like, I don't remember. Now, again, I don't remember if things have gotten worse. Because the truth is, I'm so far removed from some of my past now, like CS, right? Yeah. It's almost like crazy. Like, I forgot I spent more time in CS than I did in in Valorant, and Valorant has been out for a while, and I forgot that I was, more successful. So it's just like, but I don't remember it being this bad. Like, I don't remember the topics of drama being more important than like, yo, did you see that Fnatic train or that Navi Mirage? Like, did you see that game, bro? You got to go see it. Like, those were the conversations, not like, yo, did you hear WestJet and like what he just said about
Shazam or like anybody?
Right, like
insert X.
It's
Dude.
so crazy, bro.
Yeah,
so
I understand. I understand what you're saying, but just to wrap things up, Zellsis knows better. The double down was fucking crazy. The double down was fucking crazy.
Hilarious.
No, it was fucking crazy, bro. Like you do not double down. I hope it doesn't affect Sen in terms of him being suspended for some matches and it not going their way, and it puts them in a bad spot. But I imagine something will be done.
I don't even know how it can't. Like, I mean, if that happens, it would be sad because I feel like Riot picks and chooses. But I think I gave you the reason why they pick and choose. It's the people that have like these, supposed black marks. But I would be shocked if something like that happens over that. But I mean, I'm also not calling for anyone's job, but that video editor would have cost them a lot if that happens.
That's crazy.
And I'm not saying he needs to be removed. That is not even what I'm trying to petition. I'm just saying that this is why it's imperative that everybody in the scene take it easy with each other because, that guy made a mistake and it cost somebody else.
Yeah.
Editor, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way there wasn't someone else's eyes who should have approved that first as well.
I agree with that as well. I
mean, there might be one dude who's the entire media team over there or something, but
say it for the people in the back, Steve. Yeah, I mean,
But there's multiple people involved or should be signing off on that stuff, especially if it's Riot adjacent content.
Also, if you're a pro player, bro, just be PR trained, man. Just be smart about it. Like,
yeah, you'd be surprised how many teams don't have PR training. Though.
Yeah, and that's something that I actually liked about Overwatch League was they ran every player through PR training. That was like a staple. I think now things have changed a little bit and like it's more reliant on the org side of things to do that. But it's hella important, dude. You say one bad thing, you're gonna get canceled. That's like, dude. Even if, like you said, even if it wasn't the context in which you wanted it to be received. Like even if it didn't have intention of you offending somebody, it's gonna offend somebody. So you just have to be smart about the way that you speak, and then that's it. That's all we're gonna leave in terms of that conversation with Zellsis. So yeah, I mean that's it for episode 34 of SpikeTalk, and yeah, we're gonna try to get some people on for the future episodes. I think we're gonna do a similar thing to whereas we had NA people for the NA predictions, APAC of course, and EMEA. Hopefully we can get that going. I definitely want to get Faded back on here.
One last thing. Chobra signed with Nongshim, bro.
Oh, I saw that.
Traitor, bro.
I saw that.
Traitor, bro.
I saw that.
Now there's one more team he gets to put over Talon, bro.
Listen, he gotta eat too, bro. You know what I mean? He gotta eat too.
No, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Well, now he gets to eat all the ramen he wants.
He better send us some ramen though. Like I'll let it all slide, bro. If he sends me some good ramen, brother, I might have to hit him in the DMs tonight, bro.
That's
right. I might have to hit him in the DMs tonight.
Respect.
That shit's probably gas, man. It's probably
they're opening up an Olive Young and something else that's Korea specific in Koreatown in LA now.
Oh shit, dude! I can't wait for Olive Young to be there, man. They have
Korean specific stores that are here in Seoul are now going to LA. I found this out. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. So,
for those that don't know, Olive Young is
OP.
Yeah, it's OP.
Yeah,
for skin.
I'm not as pretty as you, so I don't get to put on all that. I don't take care of myself as well. I'm
kind
of an R word.
But what if it
ridiculous?
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But
ridiculously crazy. All right. Anyways, that should be the title of the episode.
Ridiculousness.
R. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everybody. Peace out. See you on the next one.
Out.